How's everybody doing? Uh, uh, I watched one video this morning, just total shit. It was the title on it. I'm not thinking of it anyways. I'd have to look it up. I'm not going to give you the names. I don't want to throw any views towards them. But when you see these UFO videos where they're like, they're the ones that I've noticed this on are the ones where they're saying, "Oh, Oumuamua has come back," or this one here. I see these a fair amount too, where they say like, "Oh, Voyager or the James Webb Telescope just saw 700, 300, 3,000, some large number of things coming at us." And this one here, it was James Webb, and it was either 750 or 7,500 things. James Webb saw that was coming, and I didn't bother looking at it, but there was another one that said, "Well, can we survive the sixth extinction or something like that?" And I gotta be honest with you. With what happened to me in my health, and I think it's all tied in because I think it was some of these proto fucking MAGA motherfuckers down there in Indiana. But with what happened to me, what I see going on in the party, like back in 2000, the Republican Party stole the election from Al Gore, and we know this because some journalists went down and got the ballots and did the actual recount after the election was over. And they basically found that Al Gore won. And with him winning Florida, he won the presidency. He already had, it's not one of these things, well, he won the popular vote, but no, they actually went down and they did the recount that should have happened. And the Supreme Court ruled that ruling in Bush v. Gore was not precedent. It did not affect any other case. It was a stand. That right there tells you the justices knew what they were doing was wrong. And you look at the Roberts Court, there has been cases where people have come forward and clearly there was racism involved. There was ballot theft, gerrymandering, voter suppression. And the Roberts Court multiple times said, "Oh, well, the federal courts don't have any role in state elections." Well, then go overturn Gore v. Bush. Give the Secret Service and the money to Al Gore. Give him a fucking presidential library and fucking take it away from Bush. If that's your ruling now, you're overturning. Again, I'm not saying they should do it, but they're overturning abortion laws. They're overturning rock solid 100-year gun laws that have been proven to keep people safe. Go overturn that 20-year-old thing. Since you're saying that federal courts have no role in it, then go overturn Gore v. Bush. And
this fight is over.
But when I look at what's going on with the Republican Party, I'm not sure we deserve. And I look at what's going on with the Democratic Party. The Democrats, they could have held Trump accountable. They could have held Bush accountable. You've got, I don't know if they were all Republican, but you've got judges, at least Republican, probably from both parties, that when people came forward and said, "Hey, the Constitution says people who engage in certain activity can't run for office, any office," and they tried to get Marjorie Taylor Greene and others off the ballot. And they refused. These judges refuse to do their job. These gutless bastards. You've got people down there in these South and Central America, in some cases Mexican cities, You got these judges that are making rulings that they're supposed to make, and they're being executed by the drug cartels. And the judges we got, so many of them, will not do their job because they're afraid of these, these fucking fat fucking militia fucks. And I'm not sure you can blame them because, the Democrats, the Republicans fucking favor their vote, so the Republicans won't do anything about it, and the Democrats won't do anything about it because they seem to have a problem enforcing the laws on right-wing terrorists. After Trump got out of, well, really after Bush got out of office, they could have
I need to go back.
gone after the people in his administration for war crimes. First among them, that lawyer that wrote the memo that said torture was okay. We executed Japanese soldiers for what he wrote in a memo was okay. It was just wasn't torture; it was enhanced interrogation. And we executed prisoners of war for that. We executed people we had captured during World War II for that. And that guy should have been sent to the Hague for war crimes. Donald Rumsfeld, maybe Dick Cheney. These are all people that should have been prosecuted for war crimes, and we didn't. We just swept it under the rug. Just like we let Nixon get away with Watergate. We did all this other shit, and it sent a message to these fucking right-wing criminals that, you can break the law, you can be a piece of shit, and it's okay. And when Trump got out of office, there were 10 counts of obstruction of justice that were written up. The guy, he talks when he got to the FBI at one point, he was trained by Robert Mueller. And he goes, well, I can tell you, he goes, looking at what they made public from the Mueller report, he goes, those items in the Mueller report, he goes, they are written in such a way that you could just copy and paste them into an indictment for a grand jury and have them vote on it. He goes, you talk about fucking lazy of Merrick Garland and his people. I mean, all they had to do was cut and paste. They didn't even have to write the fucking thing. He said the whole Mueller report was laid out.
I don't have enough
for a lazy. I'm doing this. But he said it was all written out for a lazy prosecutor. It was basically a shovel-ready indictment, ready to go. All you had to do was have a fucking backbone and the ability to sit and read off of a piece of paper to a judge, and you were all good to go. That's all you needed to do. And Merrick Garland and his group couldn't do it. And there were prosecutors there because after January the 6th, apparently there were prosecutors in the DOJ that, they wanted to hit the ground running. They wanted to start investigating the leadership. Like that one cop said, hey, when are we going to get the people that sent them? And there were prosecutors that must have seen that. Or maybe it was before that, and they said, "Yeah, let's go get the people that were behind this. Not just the mental defectives that stormed the Capitol. Let's get the people that sent them." And
I need spirits.
Powerful enemy we have laid low.
And they were told by the leadership of the FBI and the leadership of the DOJ, "Oh no, we're not. You can just go." It was the Abu Ghraib thing. All that was under Bush. It was the whole Abu Ghraib thing. Oh, we're not going to get the leaders. We're just going to find some victims to blame. We'll pin it on them. And like Chris Christie, we'll find one ranking person. They found a female general scapegoat. And that was what they called it a day. They didn't go after the leadership. I mean, and I'm not even talking necessarily about Bush and Trump. There were pictures when they really started blaming those servicemen, and some of them I think Because after 9/11, the Bush administration, they lowered the standards on your IQ. You had people that were probably not mentally competent to serve, literally the real life Beetle Bailey, or Gomer Pyle. But you had people that were probably not mentally competent to serve. Well, they lowered those standards because they were desperate to get bodies and uniforms after 9/11. And what happened was pictures came out, and it showed like people not in uniform and officers. So it wasn't clear whether those people were like contractors, intelligence people, mercenaries, maybe people from other governments, But there were people not in uniform that were pictured from a different angle, and you could see that they were watching the stuff go on there. And they didn't stop it. Now, the officers were morally bound to fucking do it. You go back to Vietnam, there was, I think it was a massacre. Don't quote me on this because I'm not sure I'm right. I think it might have been called the Malay Massacre or something like that. I just thought of this now. There was a helicopter pilot that when he saw it, he basically flew right into it, and he ordered his helicopter gunners to open fire on anybody that was taking part in it.
I don't have enough spirits.
And that literally, as an officer, that's, he was absolutely, it was a gutsy call. Absolutely a gutsy call. But he was morally bound to do that. And the same thing with, like, Merrick Garland and that. I don't know what it is, but we saw this with Comey, and we saw it with him, and it sounds like we saw it with Ray. These guys were morally bound to do their job. There were these guys, they were prosecutors at the DOJ. They worked there under Barr, under Trump and Barr. These guys were ordered by Bill Barr to let General Flynn off the hook, not prosecute. And they said no, they resigned before they could do it.
Not enough spirits.
There was the girl that worked for that Dunham, the special prosecutor Trojan horse that Barr and Trump left for Biden. And he was investigating the investigators in the Russian investigation on that piece of shit Trump for Russia. And at a certain point, his second in command at the U.S. Attorney's Office, she resigned. And she stated when she resigned that she was resigning for undue political influence into the role of a prosecutor. Something that ain't supposed to happen. And you take a look at those, and a lot of these people I'm talking about, they're all fucking Republicans, or they're nonpartisan. They're not gung-ho Democrats. And like these ones that I'm going to talk about now, they were in the January 6th committee hearings. These guys all were Republicans. Just about, if not everybody, just about everybody that the January 6th committee brought in were Republicans. And you had these guys, when they were ordered to do something illegal, they told the president, they go, Mr. Trump, we'll resign. If you appoint this sycophant, I'm putting words in, but they told him, if you appoint this sycophant to be the attorney general, we'll resign. And he went around the room and he asked everybody that was there. There were 3 or 4 people in the DOJ leadership there. They're like, would you guys really resign? And one of them said, he goes, it ain't just us. You're going to have a lot of the rank and file people that are all going to resign. And he goes, when you put this clown in here, he's going to be ruling over a graveyard that used to be the Department of Justice. And he said the story isn't going to be whatever you're going to try and make it. It's going to be the scandal that all these people quit because you were trying to put somebody unqualified in charge to do your dirty work. So he backed off. And you had Doug McGahn, I think was the guy's name. He was a White House counsel, White House lawyer counsel, so it might have been the actual White House counsel. He was being told to do stuff by Trump that was illegal. And he went to Reince Priebus, that piece of shit from my state. And he went and told me, I got to resign. Trump's asking me to do stuff that's illegal. And Pence looks at me and goes, oh, just don't do it then. Don't quit. This is what was going on in the Republican Party. You had an acting attorney general until Barr got there. Trump was trying to get him to do illegal shit. Either that or he was acting director of the FBI. I can't remember which. I think he was the acting attorney general. I think he was the deputy AG. And he was talking to his people. Like, he was talking to his people, maybe I should wear a wire. You know, I got a suggestion. If you're at the point where you think you need to wear a wire, maybe you guys should be looking at arresting this son of a bitch and putting him on trial. You know, I'm sorry, you know. I think Pence is a sack of shit, but I don't think he would have sold us out to Russia. I really don't, and I'm not sure. I can't remember. This is stuff that should have, you know, this would have all happened early enough. But this is stuff that they should have maybe done, and they didn't. They absolutely didn't. And now we're in the mess that we got now, where we've got these judges that have not. Because I was watching this video with Brian Tyler Cohen. Highly recommend his podcast. He's starting to get some airtime on MSNBC. But him and Glenn Kirshner, former federal prosecutor, former JAG prosecutor, were talking about how they're basically quoting Lawrence Tribe, an esteemed constitutional scholar. Anybody that's gone to school for law in the last 40 years, 40 years, has been taught by the book that he wrote. He's literally the guy that wrote constitutional law for your courts. And oh, good. Hang on.
I cannot afford that.
I want the movement speed. Cooldown reduction. Armor. But he was saying that the Secretary of States, in most states, because Tribe said, he goes, in most states, it would fall on the Secretary of State, and I think he said there's a few other states where it's somebody else in office. But he was basically saying whoever's state duty to put people's names on the ballot after they fill out their form, you know, to collect the fees, to check the signatures and do all that, he said they just have a duty now to refuse. To, you know, and I've seen video on this on YouTube where you get some of these sovereign citizens that come in and they want to file some kind of paperwork either for a business name or some other shit. And there was one video where the guy basically told them, because the guy, he did not want to fill out the form. He wanted to fill out his own form. And what he did was, because he didn't want to use the post office address system or something like that, so he made up his own form. And the guy's like, I'm not going to accept that. He goes, you can either fill out our form or this is not going to get accepted. And then he goes, well, you have to accept it. He goes, well, and he told me, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to take your money, I'm going to take your form, and I'm going to send you your money back in the mail. And I'm going to send you your form back, and I'm going to tell you it's been denied. I'm verbally telling you it's denied. You can't do that. He goes, I'm doing it. He goes, I'm not going to take your money and go through the hassle of having to send it back to you. I'm telling you right now, he goes, you're filming it. You know, it's verbally denied. I am not going to accept this crap. And he goes, you can go file whatever you want to file. You can go talk to the courts. You can do whatever you want. He goes, I'm just not going to accept it. And that's what he's saying they need to do here. They, you know, whenever they get anything. And the thing that gets me is The court's already let us down. That's why they're calling on the Secretary of States to do it, because the courts didn't
Not
really
enough
want to do
spirit.
their job. Now, maybe they aren't supposed to, and that could be, but it seems to me the court's already let us down on this. And the reason why you need the courts
Your strength
is
fails.
because, like, what had happened was these things were allowed the last time. They went and said, hey, so-and-so's on the ballot. He was someone that was part of January 6th. You need to take him off the ballot. And they hemmed him. Some of them actually had a hearing on it. But there wasn't, I think, one case where the judge had the balls to say, no, you can't be on the ballot. Your party can either pick someone who can be on the ballot, or they just can't run for this office. And that's what they need. You know, we can't have courts doing what Garner, Ray, and Comey did, where they're basing their decisions not on the law, not on their duty, but on how they think the fucking terrorists in the Republican Party are going to fucking respond to it. And that's depressing as shit. And so when I look at these comments where they're talking about, you know, the world coming to an end, I don't know if any of that's true, but I'm just saying if it is, maybe we don't deserve to live anymore. Maybe they should start over with somebody else. I'm sorry. You know, we got this shit, and I'm gonna call it's shit. It's just absolute shit. Where we've got these people that are just not good people. You know, we got rules in this country, and they
I don't have enough spirit.
and they don't want to follow them. But to be fair, though, for something like 70 years, they've been able to get away with it. 60, 70 years since Nixon. There is absolute
That
history.
ability is not yet recharged.
There's absolute history of Republicans repeatedly breaking the law and repeatedly getting worse and worse and worse, and there doesn't seem to be any consequences for it. And they put a governor, I want to say Virginia or something. They put a governor on for accepting a bribe or some shit like that. And at the time, he was put on trial. They tried him. I think it may have gone to the Supreme Court, and again, it was a conservative Supreme Court. This guy was conservative. They ruled that it didn't meet the standards, so they didn't put him in jail. And I took it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if they put him through court, and I figured, well, maybe it was a borderline case, and maybe they only put it on trial just to show people, hey, we're doing a job, which would be nice now. But I've heard very skilled lawyers and prosecutors say that the Republicans, since they've been in charge, going back to like Reagan on forward, whether they had the numerical security or they filibustered the stuff they didn't like, or stopped enforcing it, or got the courts to get active and throw it out. They said that basically the Republican Party over the last 50, 60 years has made bribery legal. You take a look at what's going on in the Republican Party now in the court. It really looks like there we go. I'm going to try and do a UFO stream only going to have so much material, but I'm saving my good stuff for that. But seriously, when you look at these videos, again, I'm not sure we deserve it. I'm really, I don't mean it. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being completely honest. If there is something out there and they're going to be judging us, or if they're going to decide whether they want to help us avoid it, I'm really not sure we just deserve it anymore.
That is what I have trained for.
But yeah, I'm doing this. I'm not sure. Siege Breaker, Assault Beast. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. I'm probably gonna watch a couple videos. I'm gonna try and find something more to talk about than what I got right now. But I'll try and watch some stuff. I'll get some UFO stuff on the tip of my head, try to remember it, and then I'll come back and do a Minecraft one. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Hope everybody has a good day. Peace and take care.